Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Level 1 Podcast. Today is October 1st, 2023. I'm Darkside Phil. I welcome you here to the show, and I hope that you are all having a great weekend. And, wow, it's time to start with the Halloween festivities around here. That is right, it is October. It is officially Halloween Horror Month. The good news is, there just so happens to be some fun horror things going on around here. We're in the midst of multiple video game playthroughs that are all kind of horror-based. There'll be more horror-related gaming stuff coming up this month, which we'll talk about in a minute. The nominations are open for you guys out there to nominate horror-themed games for my upcoming marathon on Halloween. And there's multiple levels of special stuff going on here on the channel and over on my sister channel DSP Reacts for the month. So I'm very excited for this month. It is one of my most favorite months of the year, mostly because of the new releases of games, but also because of all these kind of special holiday festivities that we do. So welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having a good day. Now, here's the thing. I was checking around today. Like, what should we talk about on the show today? Is there anything really particularly happening? And the answer is not really. Game news is very quiet right now. I get the feeling that in the next couple of weeks, things will actually pick up a bit in regards to game news. People will start talking about these new releases and things coming out or just about to come out. And once that buzz starts, then we're going to have things to talk about like every day. Today is kind of a very slow day for this kind of deal. So, being that today is October 1st, and it is Halloween Horror Madness here, I think it is time to talk about that. Let's talk about the holiday. Let's talk about Halloween in general. Let's talk about how we celebrate it, and I'll talk about my history enjoying things like horror movies and how I'm actually, translating that into content, in the modern day. Last night, I actually put up a poll right here on DSPGaming on the community tab. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but I asked you guys, what movie should I watch this week in review? And the two options were as follows. Scream 5, which was just called Scream when it came out last year because it was supposed to be a reboot of the franchise, or Dr. Sleep, which is essentially the sequel to The Shining. Now, I'd seen The Shining many, many years ago. I've seen it again over and over. It's a movie that kind of stands the test of time, in my opinion. So I am definitely going to watch Dr. Sleep. It's actually on HBO Max, so I'll watch it this month. But you guys voted for Scream 5, about 60% out of over 500 people who voted overnight. And I just incidentally happens that I watched it last night. I was watching the early polls, and within an hour of me asking, probably it was skewed very strongly to Scream 5. So I ended up watching it, and, I'm going to be reviewing it this week. Probably not tonight, probably not tomorrow night. Well, maybe tomorrow night. You think about this. Probably not tonight. I think maybe either tomorrow night or Tuesday night. I'll be filming my review and putting that out on my React channel, DSP React, so you'll have a new horror movie review this week. And just in a nutshell, because obviously I don't want to spoil my review, I'll just say this. There were some things about Scream 5 that I actually really, really liked. And there's some other things that I really, really thought were stupid as shit. But, I mean, that's par for the course for Scream. Like, I think that's one of the things about the franchise is that there's purposefully ridiculous, cheesy, nonsensical things in it. It's not meant to be ultra serious because it's supposed to be a fourth wall breaking movie series that follows all the tropes of slasher horror flicks. I mean, it says as much in the series, you know? So, I can't wait to review it because I think it's going to be interesting. The truth is I knew nothing about Scream 5 or Scream 6 at all. I have not spoiled myself on these movies. I didn't know jack diddly. So, it was actually quite refreshing to watch it, not knowing anything going in. I had actually seen Scream 4 back in 2011 when it was a new movie, and that movie was absolutely terrible. It was really bad. Like, atrociously bad attempt for them to try to, like, reboot Scream after not making them for many, many years, and it was really awful. So it was good to see them at least try something again, you know, over a decade later. So what else is going on this month with movies? Well, I'm going to be watching Halloween Kills, Scream 6, and Halloween Ends. And if I have extra time, I want to watch Dr. Sleep as well. So I may be doing a lot of horror movie reviews over on DSP Reacts this week, or this month, I should say. But this week, the first week, will be Scream 5, okay? Anyway, welcome. So if you weren't here yesterday, okay, a couple of things you missed. All the Halloween stuff is now in effect. As you can see, we have Halloween decorations behind me. All of the animations for this month are Halloween themed. If you do a tip of any sort, all the tip animations are Halloween, and they're all new. We have 5 brand spanking new Halloween animations for you. Yesterday, we saw 4 of them, okay? So that was really cool. On the Super Chat side of things, everything there is related to previous years of Halloween. So we've got some throwback Halloween stuff from many years ago. We've got some from over the past few years. Pretty good stuff. So no matter how you contribute to my streams, you're going to see these Halloween animations. Now, I did not update the animations on DSP Reacts, simply because they're 2 separate channels. The setups are a little different. And, you know, we do 1 stream a week there. maybe I will eventually. I just didn't have time, really, to set it up and have everything over there. So those are more standard animations. But anyway, I'm happy to have horror be a part of my content, all right? So you may say, well, how is horror going to be a part of your content? I'm currently playing 2 horror games right now, Lies of P, as well as Resident Evil 4 Remakes Separate Ways DLC. And in the next week to 2 weeks, we'll probably wrap up both of those playthroughs. So that's going to be fun to have that horror element, you know, implemented in what I'm doing. Later on, near the end of this month, will be Alan Wake 2, which I think is going to be really interesting. After all these years, them finally making a sequel. And people who have been doing previews and stuff of the game say it actually is quite scary. Like, it is really R-rated horror with gore and all kinds of stuff. It's kind of interesting, because the first one was not like that, right? The first one was more psychological horror. So, I guess we'll see. And, excuse me, of course we got the Halloween Horror Marathon coming up on Halloween. Let's talk about that now. So on Halloween Day, it's a Tuesday this year, we're going to be doing various different things. First of all, it will be a marathon all day long here on DSP Gaming. What will we be doing during said marathon? Well, a lot of gameplay, because you guys are currently nominating various games for me to play during that day. Now, although I do typically enjoy playing horror games, I did not limit the nominations to just horror games, okay? If people wanted to see me do something different, whatever that may be, I'm not sure what it would be, but, you know, I said, hey, you can nominate whatever you want, all right? The way it works is right now there are 2 threads that I posted up here on DSP Gaming, and I'm actually curious because I wanted to test something. Last night I created a chat command, which doesn't seem to be... There it is. Okay, it is working. It was a little delayed. So last night I created a chat command. Exclamation point Halloween. Okay? When you type that into the chat, a link will pop up. When you click on that link, it'll take you directly to the open post by which you can nominate games for me to play during the Halloween Marathon event, all right? That should actually auto-post every 15 minutes as well in the chat for the whole month. So, there you can post up open nominations. Everyone is able to do that. But in addition, I created a special members-only posting. If you are a channel member during the month of October, you have access to that posting. If you're wondering, if you're a member, like, well, how do I see it? You could just go right to the DSP Gaming channel, and there's a members tab. Just go right to that tab, and you'll find that posting right away, okay? So in that members-only tab, again, you can post up your nominations for games for the horror event. So what are the criteria? This year, the criteria are very different, all right? Because this year, things are way more open. In previous years, I've had to severely limit what games I could play. This year, I have a mini PC thanks to a very generous viewer. And because of that, I have the ability to play way more games. Traditionally, a lot of horror games are on PC. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but it seems like a lot of those games get developed and released on PC first, and if they get popular, then they'll get ported to console. And I've always been limited in what games I can actually play for the Halloween events because I've been limited to console for many, many years. This year I am not. Okay? So, let's talk about that. But first, I gotta close my blinds because the sun came out and it's getting way too bright. There we go. I'm sitting here and I'm watching myself become more and more oversaturated on camera. I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta close those. Alright, so here's how it works, okay? Basically this year, any game is eligible to be played during the Halloween Marathon that is readily available on a digital marketplace. Okay? So what does that mean? It means it has to be something that I can get on an Xbox Live Store, on the PlayStation Network Store, on Steam, I guess you could say on the Epic Games Store or launcher, or whatever it may be. It has to be something that I can easily just buy, download, and play on something that I can get right away. So what does that exclude? Because obviously it sounds like that includes a lot. Well, that excludes older games that were never digitally converted for any of these stores. For example, a lot of the times people tell me or ask me to play like classic horror games and things like that, but it's only available on PS1 on a disc. Well, no, we're not doing that. I don't have a PS1. I have no means to play a PS1 disc game. You know, or it'll be like, oh, can you play this obscure game? Like, can you play Resident Evil 1, the GameCube version? The GameCube version. Well, that one is incredibly rare and costs a ridiculous amount of money. And again, they never digitized it. So you want me to buy the specific version of the game that costs like $100, $200 to get it to run on my Wii to play it for one marathon? The answer is no. We're not doing that. You see what I mean? It has to be something that's going to be readily, easily available through legit means, okay, on some kind of a marketplace. Not that, oh, you have to jump through hoops running 10 emulators and fuck around with things to get it to work. No. The thing is, it's a marathon. During a marathon, this is me playing a good variety of games for like maybe an hour each, sometimes more, because whenever I do one of these gaming marathons, the way it usually works is people will vote on what game they want to see first from the ones that have been selected to be played that day, and then we start playing it, and if I really like it or you really like it, we'll play more of it. But if it ends up being not so good, then we'll just move on right to the next game. So you never know. There might be games that only get played for like a half an hour and other games that get played for 90 minutes or more. Some of these games may eventually turn into full playthroughs because that has happened. We're doing a gaming marathon like this. We play a game that's good. And, oh, this is actually real good. I didn't even expect it to be that good. And people want to see me play it in the future. And then I will. I'll go back and I'll play it, you know, as a full playthrough later. So that's really how it goes. So, FYI, that's really the criteria laid out this year. Way more games are now eligible because PC games are eligible for this event. However, a couple small ground rules. I don't think they're very restrictive. Number one, it can't be a game that I've played recently. Like, for example, don't say, hey, will you play a second run of Lies of P on Halloween? No. We're playing Lies of P in its entirety right now. I mean, right now we're about 20 hours in. You know, by Halloween we'll have beaten it. No, I don't want to go back into a second run of Lies of P for like an hour on Halloween. That'd be pretty silly, don't you think? I don't think that would really make much sense. So that's out. Anything I've done kind of recently doesn't really make sense to be doing on Halloween if it's a playthrough I just finished. In addition, I'll just say this up front. Please do not recommend ginormously lengthy RPGs at this point, because every single time that I have one of these marathons, there'll be someone who'll be like, hey, now's the opportunity for you to start up Lost Odyssey. No. This is not the opportunity for me to start up Lost Odyssey. We won't even get through the intro. You know what I mean? Like, again, this is a marathon where we're trying to move through a variety of games in a day, where I'm playing for like 8+ hours. We want to get in maybe 5-6 different games. The last thing I want to do is just start up a game with incredibly slow narrative-based start, get nowhere in it, and everyone's like, why the hell are you playing this today? It makes no freaking sense, right? So I'll say, yeah, we're definitely not going to do that. The way it works is thus. People will start nominating. They already have. I already approved a bunch of posts overnight where people started nominating games, okay? So we're going to have those threads, both for the open thread for everyone and the members-only thread. Those are going to be running for about roughly 2 weeks. We'll probably wait till around the middle of October, all right? That'll be a good amount of time for everyone to remember to post up. That link about the Halloween event will be going in the chat every day. And so there'll be a big opportunity for people to nominate stuff. Around the middle of October, I will sit down, and I'm going to tally up the nominations. So I'm going to be counting, literally, nomination by nomination, making a checklist of who nominated what and how many nominations per game. At the end of me doing the counting those tallying up, I should say, those nominations, whatever games had the most nominations will make it into a poll. All right? And that poll will then determine what games actually get played during the marathon event. So, for example, let's say I'm in the open nominations thread, and after 2 weeks, there's 4 games that each got 5 nominations, and there's 3 games that each got 4 nominations. I'll do a poll for like 6-7 games, whatever it is, and people will just vote on those games to determine what games you actually want to see in the final event, and likely it would be 2 to 3 of those games would make it into the final event, whatever gets the most votes. Similarly, the members-only thread will be very much the same. The difference is there's way less members than there are common viewers. Right now I have around 650 members, roughly, and so that'll give, probably, admittedly, when we do these member-only things, not every member participates. I guarantee you, even though we have 650 members, we'll probably have 100 people. I'm serious, probably like 100 people will nominate stuff. So members will actually get to nominate twice, because if you're a channel member, you get to nominate stuff in the members-only thread. And yes, you can also additionally nominate more games in the open thread. You have that ability. You basically have big priority because you're a member. You get to enjoy that perk this month, okay? So we're essentially going to pick half the games from the open thread and half the games from the members thread. All right? Sound pretty good? I think that's pretty cool. Now, we may be doing a few other extra things during that Halloween day. For example, I always dress up in a costume. And yes, I'll be doing that. I'm going to go with my wife this month out to some Halloween stores. We already found one that had some good ideas, but we're going to look for a couple others on a day off. And we're going to see what they've got. And we're going to pick a costume that I'm going to wear during the day, all day long. Okay? So that's pretty cool. And then in addition to that, we're going to order some food that day. There will be a Feasting with Phil episode where we'll order from like a local restaurant and we'll eat a nice meal together. We always like doing that during marathon events. That's a fun event that we can do together, right? Now, what else do you guys want to do on Halloween? That's totally up to you. There's many different ideas. One thing we could do, we could actually go and watch some horror-themed videos. Maybe we could go watch some more videos from that YouTube channel, Rob Gavigan. If you remember last year, I actually did a full-length react event to the Rob Gavigan YouTube channel. And he's open to me reacting to any of his stuff in the future. So we could just easily just pick a few videos off his channel and watch them. Horror-themed stuff. Or, if you guys really wanted it, and I'll be honest, I don't know if you guys are going to want this year. I'm just throwing the idea out there, and I'm curious to get your feedback. We could do a WWE simulation Royal Rumble match. I usually do this. I mean, for the last year, I did it, where it was a horror-themed match where all these horror villains, faced off in a giant battle royal match, all beating the crap out of each other. You know, the Saw puppet versus Freddy Krueger versus, you know, some Halloween slasher enemy. You know what I mean? Like all these different monsters and things facing off against each other. And it's usually really fun because the sim match is absolutely ridiculous and silly and over the top. Very cartoony, too. You know, it's not ultra serious or anything. Last year I did a bunch of those matches. You guys really liked them. This year I kind of laid off. I didn't even buy the new WWE game, so if we do it, it'll be in the old WWE from last year. So it's really up to you. I'll leave the possibility open, but I haven't really heard too many people clamoring for it. So maybe that's something we don't do this year. Maybe this year we simply just focus on, you know, the games. It's about the games and the food, right? And probably, yes, I'll probably have some liquor. I'll probably be drinking during the day. And if, you know, certain levels of contributions come in, I'll do some shots and stuff with you guys and things like that, like we tend to do during these events. Keep in mind, we did not do anything in September. We left September open with no special events so that we could focus on the games. Now, for the next 3 months, the end of every month will be a special event. The Halloween horror event on Halloween, October 31st. The Thanksgiving Black Friday Adpocalypse event. That's going to be on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So I want to say that's usually like the 24th, 25th of November, something like that. So that'll be fun because we're going to watch all kinds of ads and react to them just like I did last year. That was a really good event. And then the Christmas event, where we do all kinds of fun Christmas-themed stuff, food and fun and all kinds of stuff. That'll be around Christmas time, all right? So it's awesome to have 3 things already planned out for the next 3 months and not have to stress about, gee, what special event should I do? We've already got everything laid out nicely for us, okay? So, good stuff, right? Excellent. So please, now, the nominations are open. Please head over, start nominating games for this event. Every day, I'm sure I'm going to have more and more people nominating, and I'll have to approve all those posts. Don't worry. If you nominate and you didn't see your post right away, it's because I approve all the posts manually. But please get to it, and I'm excited to see what you guys nominate and see how those polls roll. And, you know, it's going to be an exciting month around here for sure. Okay? Cool. All right, so outside of that, I think what we should do is talk about the game schedule for the week, and then we'll do a little bit of talking a little bit about Halloween and horror and stuff like that, and then we'll just do open Q&A because, quite honestly, I just don't have much else to talk about today. There's no real game news or anything going on. So yesterday was a fun day of streaming. First stream was the premiere of the Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways DLC on hardcore difficulty, playing as Ada Wong, and basically, I had a good time with it. It's jumping back into the Resident Evil franchise. You know, these enemies are very tough. On hardcore, they take tons of shots to kill, which makes ammo way more scarce because you have to use a lot more ammo to kill the enemies. Ada has a couple things a little different from Leon. The real primary thing is that she zip lines around with her gun, which is hilarious because she acts like she's Batman. Like, she's zipping all over the place. It's like, that's not even how this works. You realize that if you had a grapple gun, you could shoot it, but then you'd have to retract the wire and, like, put it back into the gun. Instead, she's like, zip, 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 zipping all over the place. Like, okay, so basically she's Batman, right? And she has the ability to do a melee attack from a distance. So if you stun an enemy from a distance, she can grapple to them and pull herself towards them and do, like, an aerial kick, which is kind of neat, but it's also kind of silly. In general, does she feel any better or worse than Leon? Not really. The only real difference is that she can get the explosive crossbow, and, you know, I have it. I don't know if there's going to be any different kind of crossbow bolts, but the explosive bolts are pretty powerful. But for me, it's like a lot of limited ammo use. Like, that's really the big challenge so far the first 3 hours. There's been a couple times when I'm seriously low on ammo, and I'm just kind of relying that I hope enemies will drop ammo when I kill them. Because I don't even have, you know, enough to really go around and kill everything in an area. And sometimes I have to kind of be more scarce rather than kind of spray all over. You have to kind of go into these narrow positions where you try to funnel all the enemies through like a corridor. So that way if you unload into them, they're all absorbing every bullet. So that way you don't miss any or waste any. But for the most part, it's fun. The only thing I do have to say, sadly, about the DLCs is that they really just retread the same ground you went on with Leon. It's not like this DLC has new locations and stuff, at least yet. Maybe it will, but every single thing in the game is already, you were there with Leon already. So it is a little disappointing in that regard, not to see anything new. I mean, it is different because there's different enemies and, for example, different bosses in different places. So right now I'm actually in the midst of doing a boss fight against an El Gigante. And it's like, whoa, I didn't know Ada Wong fought an El Gigante. Well, she does apparently. And it's definitely very different from when Leon fought it. But it's still the same enemy. You know what I mean? It's not like there's nothing new. We haven't seen any new enemy types. We haven't seen any new locations. And I get the feeling that's going to be the DLC. It's just kind of retreading and doing things in a different perspective. So I'm 3 hours in, but I haven't even beaten Chapter 3 yet. I don't know how many chapters the Separate Ways DLC has, but I get the feeling it's going to be at least 2, if not 3 major streams to wrap this up. I did die a bunch too, so if you're wondering, oh, did Phil just coast right through it? No, I did not. I did die a good amount, so it was entertaining in that regard. So I hope you give it a look. The videos are live on DSPGaming now. There'll be more coming later this week. All right. Then last night in Starfield on the late night chill stream, we had some really good progress. I actually finished up the UC Vanguard quest line, which was one of the major faction quest lines. I actually chose to do it differently than I feel most people would have. I actually went for more of a secretive. I don't even know how to say. I don't know if you would consider it like the bad morality choice or evil choice. I guess it really depends on your own perspective or judgment. But basically, I did not do the goody two-shoes choices. So I get the feeling that my outcome would be very different than what a lot of people saw when they were doing that quest line for themselves. And then we went and we did the entirety of Barrett's companion quest line, and we actually finished it up at the very end of the stream. So we got a lot done. And now when we continue on with Starfield later in the week, we'll actually could be continuing on with the Constellation plotline. Constellation has 2 different plot lines to do, and I definitely want to get back to that because I haven't done any of the Constellation plotline in ages. We're talking like a month since I did any major story at all in the game. So obviously I want to do a little bit of story to keep that moving rather than feeling like we're all doing side content. So we'll see how that goes when I play it again later in the week as well. All right. So overall yesterday, pretty good day. And by the way, chill vibes on that late stream were very appreciated after having played so many stressful games. You know, Street Fighter 6 I played with the new character Aki. And then it was Lies of P all week, which is also a very challenging, stressful game. Fun though. Great game, but definitely stressful. And then the Separate Ways DLC on Hardcore, which makes it way harder. You know, it was good to have a more relaxing night stream where we could just kind of sit back and interact with each other and have a good time in that regard. So I hope that you guys enjoyed Starfield last night, and thanks for watching. Good stuff, all right? My hair is, like, sticking up right in the middle. You see that? Must have had some static in it when I brushed it this morning. Yeah, look, it's like a big lump in the middle of my head. Interesting. For the record, that is my hair. That is not like, I don't have a lump on my head. I didn't bonk my head in my sleep or whatever. It's my hair is sticking up there for some reason. Anyway, so what are we doing today? Well, today is Sunday, and you know what that means. Sunday's React Day. So right after this podcast, we'll all be heading over to DSP Reacts for DSP versus the Internet, my weekly Clips React show. We're both standard and ultra level members on that channel have nominated videos for me to watch. I did recommend that this week people nominate some Halloween or horror themed stuff, and they did. I will say this, I don't know if we're going to watch them for sure, but the standard channel members did suggest some horror themed stuff that's in the randomized playlist. So if we get to it or not, I don't know, but some of it's supposed to be really scary stuff. I'm not saying excessive gore or whatever, but you know, some scary stories and things. I think there's a video in there, the scariest phone numbers that you should never call. And I guess someone called them and documented it and made a video about it. Interesting. It's probably lame and fake, but still it's something it's something interesting for the month, right? So I guess we'll see. Like, people did nominate some stuff like that. And I guess we'll see as we go through the show today, you know, what videos got nominated. Now, a couple things I do want to say, and obviously I'll emphasize this over on that channel, but a couple things. Number one, I think there's definitely some duplicate nominations here. Like, for example, I know for a fact one of the videos that was suggested for Ultra memberships, we just watched like a week or two ago. So I'm going to play just to say, hey, I'm watching it, but just so you know, we already watched this, so we're not going to watch it any further. Be careful when you're nominating videos because you're doing duplicates, you know? So that's number one. I want people to be more careful with their nominations because I feel like some people kind of waste them by not checking on the videos that we've already watched on the show. That's number one. Number two, okay? So as you guys know, if you follow the show, a couple weeks ago, we had a couple wise guys who basically nominated some videos that could be considered detractor content. One of them was essentially someone who was trying to criticize my gameplay of Grand Theft Auto 3. And then another one was apparently a parody video of me trying Ramen Noodles for DSP Tries It. They were both atrociously bad videos. You know, I've seen good videos kind of poking fun at me, you know, formal This Is How You Don't plays that are done really well. I've seen much better parody videos. These videos were some of the poorest I've ever seen. Like, no exaggeration. I wish I was exaggerating, but they were just really low bottom of the barrel content. They weren't funny. They were just stupid. If you actually thought those videos were funny, it's because you're an idiot. Like, they weren't well done at all. There's way better content out there making fun of me. So what happened was, you know, I watched those videos, and now people seem to think that, oh, well, this is our chance. Let's just make the whole show every week about Phil watching detractor content. Now, here's the thing. I am not above poking fun at myself. If someone nominated, say, a good This Is How You Don't Play video that had a lot of, you know, making fun of me how bad I am at a game or something like that, and it's pertinent and it makes sense and it's relevant and it's funny, I would absolutely include that in the show. There's no reason not to, right? But this week, I'm not kidding you, 2 different people tried to nominate videos, all right, that are outright detractor videos. One, if you can believe it, a clip apparently taken during the mid-2000s. So this is me at a video game tournament for Street Fighter before I was a YouTuber. And I'm sitting in a hotel room with a bunch of other, like, fighting game gamers. And I guess I was telling this story, and I've told this story many times before, all right, of when I was in college, and basically I got caught out for having a party in my dorm, and some of my roommates had like weed and stuff, and how basically the whole room got tossed by the campus security trying to find weed and other things to get us in trouble with, and they didn't find anything because they were morons. They were very inept on what they did. It was pretty funny because they were acting like hard asses, and they were just really terrible at what they did. So this story is exactly the same story that I told years later in my YouTube videos. I've told this story numerous times over the years. But the thing is, this is a story from when I was like 18. All right, so I'm 41 now. You know, I'm a little. We're talking, you know, a big discrepancy in time and age. I've actually lived more years after this behavior than before. You understand? So this is not representative of me today, nor is it anything I'm too proud of. But when you watch this video, this is a video of me during my Street Fighter years. Again, this is like 20 years ago. Kind of almost bragging about it in a hotel room with a bunch of guys. We're all drinking and smoking and stuff. And I'm telling this story to them. And a detractor, I guess, found this video on the internet randomly. Someone from the fighting game community had uploaded it many years ago. And they superimposed all this hater shit on the video. You know, like, oh, he's full of shit, he's exaggerating. Oh, you see, he wants to be a man, so he said this, that. It's all, like, toxic shit. And someone submitted this to be watched this week. I'm like, what on earth makes you think we're going to watch this? Number one, it's a video that's not pertinent. It's a story from when I was 18. It's a story told when I was in my early 20s. The video quality is atrociously bad. It's like an old-school handheld camcorder, you know? And obviously, this is from an era of my life that's way in the past, has nothing to do with the present, right? And I've told the story multiple times before over the years. Has nothing to do with me now. And why would I watch, of all things, this version of me telling the story with hater comments superimposed over it? You'd have to be an asshole. You'd have to be really stupid to think that I was going to watch that. So I told them, no, we're not watching that. You can nominate another video or get nothing watched. It's your own fault for nominating a detractor video. In addition, some other person, this person is really dumb. There's a whole little mini music video of someone dressing up like me and trying to impersonate me and look like me, and essentially the whole video is just about me masturbating, okay? Which, of course, is one moment that happened in my 15 years as a content creator, and they act like this is the end-all be-all of who I am. Essentially, this is the equivalent of everything that Review Tech USA does on a daily basis in like a 1-minute music thing. And it's terrible. It's not funny at all. It's just it's like insult after insult after insult. It's literally like a minute montage of insults about me. The funny part about it is, whoever they have acting as me is actually fatter than me and has a worse hairline than me. But they're acting like they're me. And like, oh, this is Phil. Like, no, actually, you're actually much heavier than me, and you have worse hair than me, and you're trying to pretend like you're me. That's not a good look. Just so you know, it's not a good look. It makes you actually look way worse. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, It's the thing is, it would be one thing if it was like good natured, let's poke fun at Phil. It's literally the worst stuff you would see on a detractor video. You know, it is a detractor video. It's basically something not made to criticize and to poke fun or let's laugh and let's say let's get better. It's no, let's just completely degrade and insult. It's the equivalent of schoolyard bullying. So I look at the video, I'm like, why the fuck would I watch this? So I think people have a misconception, you understand, of what I'm going to watch on this show. Just because you decide to become a channel member on DSP Reacts, I have no obligation to watch anything you submit at all. There's always been a strict no detractor content policy on all of my channels. Just because you're stupid doesn't mean that I'm going to watch your dumb video that's insulting and toxic and against everything that I stand for on the internet. So, no, we're not watching those videos. And I even said to the person, you're lucky I just don't ban you now. Because obviously this was of malicious intent that you would even post a video up and you think I'm going to watch it. You knew I wasn't going to watch this video. It's very nasty, you know? So, yeah, no, we're not doing that, all right? And, you know, again, if someone wants to post videos on the React show that are funny or critical of me, make fun of my gameplay, you know, I'm okay with that. Especially if they're more constructive. You know, a lot of This Is How You Don't Play videos out there point out a lot of the shortcomings and things in the gameplay that I've done over the years, and that's perfectly fine. You know, there's a difference between here's legit criticism where you can say, oh, Phil sucks at this and hopefully he gets better or whatever, versus, oh, Phil's just a scumbag piece of shit and here's a bunch of things to make it look like he's a piece of shit. No, we're not watching that. Why? On what planet did you think that would fly? You have to be brain dead. All right? So, yeah, people have started nominating this stuff and I'm not watching it. I'm outright, you know, telling people, you know, basically you get one chance at it, and if you fucking post that stuff up again, you're out of here. I'm just going to ban you from the channel, then I don't have to watch this or put up with your shit every week. So, no, we're not doing detractor content on DSP React. We're just not. Again, if it was something pertinent or different, or even well done, you know, with iota of fucking thought rather than, you know, schoolyard bullying, I'd probably watch it, but we're not going to waste time on morons. So there you go. Well, I'll reiterate that over on the React channel, although I wanted to go more into detail about it this morning on the show because that's really what this show is for. So I guess we'll see. You know, and that's the usual thing. Some people submit stuff that I know is going to end up getting claimed, you know. I'll just have to be like, watch a little clip of it and then pause it and hope for the best. I don't know why people submit videos from official YouTube channels that are like syndication, that have TV shows and shit. You know that shit's getting claimed no matter what, but they keep submitting that. It's like, every time we do it, I tell you guys, oh, getting claimed, got to move on, but people still keep submitting the same kind of stuff. Like, oh my God. Anyway, let's see what happens today on the React show. I think we will have some good stuff, quite frankly, on the show regardless. And hopefully it ends up being a good show, okay? Turtle Dude says, what about segments of Outsider This Is How You Don't Plays? His Red Dead 2 one had good moments. See, here's the thing. I don't watch these videos. You know that. You guys know I've literally never watched this content. Last year, I actually reacted to This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid 2. It was the first time I watched it at length. I had seen clips from it, but I never watched the whole thing. Again, as long as it's not being personally insulting, if it's critical of me or my gameplay or things that I'm doing that are bad in videos, that's fine. I told you guys it was always my intention that I wanted to react to Outsiders This Is How You Don't Plays. I had always heard that they were some of the best ones. And I was like, oh, that'll be great to actually go back and react to them and you know, enjoy those. I think they would be enjoyable because, you know, I never went back and watched my original playthroughs either. So it's an opportunity not only to go back and watch some of the classic playthroughs I've done, but watch how inept I am and laugh at how inept I am at them with other people who observed that. I'm totally down for that. Again, as long as it's not meant to be something that's so degrading and bullying and making me look like a scumbag that I'm not. And you know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between let's laugh at this guy or let's destroy this guy. You get it? But the thing is, you need to have a level of maturity and intelligence to understand that, and a lot of people just don't have those. They just think that anything on the internet making fun of someone is fine, no matter what. It's not. It's just not. You know, especially when it's something that's defamatory or faked or over-exaggerated so that you could look better or get a rise out of people, but it's not true. So you make people think something about someone that's not true just so you can get personal gain. No, that's messed up, you know. So there you go. All right. So anyway, after this podcast, we'll head over to DSP Reacts for our first React show of the month. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, we do have some horror stuff tossed in there. That would be great. Tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, it is a continuation of Lies of P. And we are at the end of Chapter 8. We're right at the boss. You know what's funny? I was thinking about this, and I realized, oh, crap. I'm almost positive we have multiple quartz that I could put on my P organ upgrades that would probably make things a lot better or easier, and I didn't use them. Like, oh, crap, I should do that tonight before we go back to the boss. We should go back and upgrade with the quartz and then go back. We're at the Chapter 8 boss. I already beat the first phase, but I haven't really seen the second yet. So we'll see how it goes tonight. I think we'll beat that boss, and we will head on to Chapter 9. The game has 11 chapters, but from what I'm to understand, the final chapters are very lengthy and very challenging. So we'll see how that goes. I'm playing that as the night stream tonight. And tomorrow, the daytime stream also will be Lies of P. So we'll have 5 solid hours of Lies of P in the next day. Tomorrow night, Monday night, late stream will be ranked matches in Street Fighter 6, master level gameplay. I think I'm going to try to watch some Blanca gameplay online to try to get readjusted to the character. I have not used Blanca now in over a month. Yes, since I hit master with him, I haven't touched him. So I think what we should do is, you know, I'll watch some videos tonight to get back into the swing of things. And then I will maybe do a little bit of casual play just to get back into the swing of things with that character. And then see what I can do in master. I doubt I'm going to do very well. I'm just being honest. I haven't used Blanca, and now I'm playing in master level. It's probably going to be rough going. You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see how it goes and go from there. And hopefully it does go well and I can get some good stuff going. But we'll find out as I play tomorrow night. All right, should be fun. Then on Tuesday, it'll be more Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways DLC on the first stream. And it'll be more Starfield Chill on the late stream as we head into more Constellation Mission fun. And then on Wednesday, it'll be more Lies of P and more Street Fighter. And that's the week. Now, I have a question for everyone. All right? Honest question. And I wonder if you guys would understand this. Do any of you have Ubisoft Plus? Okay? If you have Ubisoft Plus, raise your right hand right now. Because I need to take a tally. I'm curious. And the reason I bring this up is because later this week, there is an Ubisoft game coming out by the name of Assassin's Creed Mirage. And I've looked into this game to figure out more information about it. And I have more information about it. And now I need to ask you guys. So a couple people are raising their hands in chat saying they actually do have Ubisoft Plus. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. So here's the deal. I have questions for you. Because with Assassin's Creed Mirage coming out later this week, it's $50. $49.99. Because it's a shorter game. Everyone's saying it's around 20 hours long. It's not a super long game. So they're not charging full price for it. Over the course of the next several months, there should be some Ubisoft games that I'm interested in. For example, in December, there is Avatar Waka Waka Doo Doo Yeah. That's the name of it, right? Waka Waka Doo Doo Yeah? Well, whatever it's called. It's the Avatar game that plays similar to Far Cry. And I'm very interested in that game. It looked really good in the previews, and I'm excited to maybe play it. In January, there is a new Prince of Persia game coming out that is a 2D reinvigoration of the franchise, kind of going back to its roots with interesting time manipulation and combat elements. And that looks really good, okay? And I'm like, oh. So actually, if you look at October, December, January, there seem to be some good games coming out under the Ubisoft umbrella that I may be interested in playing. I'm not so sure about November, all right? I was looking at November. I was like, I don't know if there's going to be anything there that I'm too interested in. Now, the reason I brought up Ubisoft Plus is because if you're not aware, Ubisoft apparently has a monthly subscription service where you pay a fee to access all of their games, and it includes a lot of new releases. In fact, every game I just mentioned is going to be included under Ubisoft Plus, okay? So if you pay this flat fee a month, and then you have access to these games, is that better than buying the games? I started doing the math in my head. I was like, well, Ubisoft Plus is supposedly $18 a month, okay? Let's say that I get Ubisoft Plus for October, November, December, and January. Add in tax, it's about $20 a month, so it'd be 80 bucks. Well, right now, if I were to buy Assassin's Creed Mirage, that's going to be $55. If I buy Avatar, that's probably a full-fledged game, either 60 or 70 plus tax, so you're talking $70 to $80. So you add that, you're already at $120. And then if I were to get Prince of Persia in January, that's at least going to be $20, $30, if not more. So you're already talking $150 or more dollars, but if I get Ubisoft Plus, it's only $80. You see the difference? So it seems like it would be a significant increase in value, especially if you think about it. Am I ever really going to want to go back and replay Assassin's Creed Mirage or the Avatar game or Prince of Persia? Probably not. These will probably be one and done playthroughs, so it's not like I need to own the digital rights to these games in perpetuity. I don't really care too much about that. Cypress says it also would include all DLCs for future Ubisoft games as well. So there you go. Let's say I play Assassin's Creed Mirage 20 hours. I get it on Ubisoft Plus. I play it for the month. Beat it. Right? Done. And then 6 months, 8 months down the road, they add a DLC campaign that's 5 hours long. I can just get Ubisoft Plus again and get the DLC. I don't have to buy it. You see? However, my question is as follows, okay? How exactly does Ubisoft Plus work? Because I went on my Xbox and I don't see any mention of it whatsoever on there. At all. Like normally it would say in there, oh, well, the game costs this if you buy it. The game is included in this subscription service, and the game is... I don't see that on there at all. So how on earth do I get Ubisoft Plus and get it to apply to my Xbox so that I don't have to buy Assassin's Creed Mirage? That's the question. Because I'll tell you right now, if I spend $18 on Ubisoft Plus, and then I can't get it to sync with my Xbox, and I still have to buy the game, I'm going to be pretty upset. And I don't want to be upset. I don't like being upset. I've been upset enough in the last week. You know what I'm saying? So, does anyone know? Does anyone actually have Ubisoft Plus applied to their Xbox and know how it works and how it syncs? Because I'm very interested in it, you know? I don't even know how it would work. Like, how would you sync it to your Xbox? I don't understand because I didn't see it in there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is in there. But I looked up Assassin's Creed Mirage, and all it said was 40 or 50 no, 50 or 60 bucks depending on if you buy the regular or deluxe edition, and that's it. It didn't say anything in there about Ubisoft Plus, not even a mention of it. Gaming Guru says PC only. Are you sure it's PC only? It's not. Because my wife was looking up, and she said that the PC version's like $14, $15 a month, and the console version's $18. That's what she said. Hello, Juan David. It's not through Game Pass. I'm telling you it's not. Because I looked it up. It's not through Game Pass. I don't think it's synced with Game Pass. Let me go to the Game Pass section of the console, if I can even fucking find it anymore. They redesigned the console. Now I don't even know where it is. Where is the Game Pass section? I don't even see it anymore. I really don't. I don't even know where it is. Microsoft Rewards, Xbox Accessories. Where the hell is Game Pass? Oh, it's at the top now. Oh, they moved it to the top. I see. Oh, let's see. Recently added. Coming to Game Pass. I should probably preload Forza Motorsport because I'm going to give it a shot. By the way, I hate to tell you guys, it says that City Skylines 2 is still coming October 24th. Did you know that? You guys said it was delayed. According to this, it still says it's coming October 24th on my console. I'm staring at it right now. I'm going to hit pre-install. Go to the Xbox store and search for Ubisoft. Oh, really? Is that how it works? Let's see. Alright, let me do that. Ubisoft Plus. join. It crashed. I clicked on it and it crashed. What the? That's not good. Let's try again. Ubisoft Plus. Let's try again. Join. So this is log in or create an Ubisoft account. Once you hooked up your Ubisoft account, this page refreshes. It may take a moment. Oh. So it looks like I should be able to do it, and you do it through this page. What it actually gives you is a QR code or a unique link that you can use to link. Now, I have absolutely no clue what my Ubisoft account is. I really have no idea. Wow. I have zero idea. Shit. Well, I guess this is something for me to try to tackle perhaps during Thursday on my day off, I think. I'll have to come in here and try to figure this out because I have no idea what it is. Like legit. I don't know at all. So obviously that's no good. That's not going to help, right? All right. All right, well, thank you for the info. I'll have to look into this on Thursday. And the thing is, it may make more sense to do it that way, correct? It might make a lot more sense to just get the Ubisoft Plus and get it $18 a month and get all these games rather than me buying every game outright, right? And then I'm going to save a lot of money. So, well, Pikachu Hat, I can't do it. He says, oh, can you do it with us? I can't do it because I'll show you my account shit, and then people will just fucking try to get into it, and, you know, can't do that. Too many malicious idiots on the internet. So, I'll have to do it offline and try to sync it and figure it out. Because I don't even think I have. I know I have an account because over the years, all those Ubisoft games that I played, you're always earning those Ubi points and shit that you can sometimes redeem. It was funny because remember they were coming out with one Assassin's Creed game a year. Every year, I'd play the new Assassin's Creed game, and just as the game started, I'd unlock a ton of shit because I always had points from the last Assassin's Creed game for the year before, and somehow they all rolled over. You know what I mean? So I know there must be an Ubisoft account in there somewhere. I just don't know where it is or how to access it. I might just make a fresh one for this instance anyway. I'll have to look into it. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Cheetah Man says, remember, they were actually doing, making game libraries inactive if you never logged in a long time. You're right. I remember that news story, right? Okay. All right. So, thank you for that info. I'll have to look into it. All right. And I will look into it. And we'll try to figure that out. All right. If I can get it under Ubisoft Plus, that just makes a lot more sense than me buying every single Ubisoft game. Plus, you know, it might give more options for downtime stuff. However, there's no way I'm going to keep that subscription unless there's games out. You know what I mean? Like, why on earth would I keep that past, like, January if there's no Ubisoft games coming out that I'm going to take advantage of? I'm just going to cancel that shit then, right? There's no reason to keep that subscription if I'm not getting anything out of it. So, we'll see what happens with that. Okay. So, folks, that is really it. What I want to do is do a little bit of a, you know, plugs, and then we're going to get to shout-outs, and then we're going to do some Q&A. There's no gaming news today. Like, I look into it, there's nothing going on in the realm of gaming news today. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment, DSP News. There is none. Okay, there we go. I'm sure there'll be more news coming out shortly, like I said, and all these new releases start coming out, right? So, anyway, so, as you know, I'm a crowdfunded individual. I create what is called curated content. What does that mean? It means I am not a content creator on YouTube that is appealing to the masses. I know I'm not. I'm a 41-year-old gamer. I've been doing YouTube for 15 years, and I'm not making clickbait crap. I'm not doing sponsored content. I'm not doing viral meme stuff. I'm literally sitting here as a normal dude, playing games, sharing experiences with all of you on a daily basis. Some of you appreciate that. And because you appreciate it, you have supported my content over the years, and you allow me to create this curated content for my specific audience. thank you for that. I really do appreciate those that go above and beyond, because if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be able to keep doing this for a living. I would have to do sponsorships, paid product placements, playing games I don't want to play just because they're paying me to advertise their game. The kind of stuff, shilling, that a lot of other YouTubers have had to degrade themselves to do. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and crap on other YouTubers because they had to do that. But I will tell you that the state of YouTube is sad. That the vast majority of people who do YouTube for a living have to constantly be plugging shit and having these sponsorships and these paid product placements. It's ridiculous. Why can't people just make content that they love and have meaning to it instead of shill for a buck? It's sad. I'm happy I'm not in that situation because I don't ever want to be. You know, I want to be me. I want to be a guy who controls his content. When I stream for you guys, I usually do one ad break, a ginormous stream. This stream started at 10:45 a.m. and if I have my way, there'll be one ad break, probably when this podcast ends. And that's it. There won't be anything else going on, you know, advertising to you. I don't want you to sit here and get bombarded with ads and shit because I think that's ridiculous. Now, here's the thing. The only way that I can make this work is if you support it via crowdfunding. And you do. And I'm incredibly grateful to everyone out there who does support my content. Simply liking these streams, liking the videos you watch, leaving comments on them, engagement helps a lot and lets my channels get noticed. But going above and beyond with all kinds of crowdfunding is a really great way to keep this content rolling. So how can you do that? Well, a super chat or a super sticker during a live stream, which will get you a nice highlighted message in the chat, and I'll shout it out as well. A super thanks on an on-demand video that happens to be eligible for it. I say that because if a video gets claimed for some reason, it's not eligible. But I'm grateful for all of those. Those are ways to contribute through YouTube itself. They help a ton. And this time of year particularly, you know, people feeling a little bit more generous with all the new releases. Thank you in advance to anyone who does that. Becoming a channel member or gifting a membership to a fellow viewer. That's a great way to support the content, because not only are you helping out this channel, but you get something out of it too. Benefits such as access to all of my emotes, having a cool highlighted message if you're watching a video on demand, a cool crown to show how long you've been a supporter, the ability to talk as much as you would like without the limitations of slow mode in the chat when you're on a live stream, and many more. We also already mentioned just in this video, right, about the priority that you'll have nominating games for the Halloween event. So many benefits to being a channel member, especially this month in particular. I hope you'll consider either becoming a member or gifting a membership. And of course, there's tipping. Tipping is a direct contribution to my PayPal. This is epically useful for two different reasons. Reason number one, I get tips right now. So if you tip me right now, I get it immediately and I can put it towards something important. For example, right? How about all of these games I need to buy in the next month? Because I've been rattling off some 10 plus games that I need to buy in the month of October. That's a significant increase to the operational costs. So tips help to defray that cost, okay? In addition, tips I get more of a cut of than other contribution methods. There's less of a middleman taking a cut of a tip than there is of the other contribution methods around here. So that's why tips are so important. If you do tip, I will I will do my best to not only shout it out, but give some rewards. There's tiered rewards that I give out per the level of tips that I reach on any particular stream, okay? And by the way, when I do these streams in the morning before my React show, any tips that come in on today's podcast count towards the React show as well. They carry over. So it's not like, oh, I tipped on his podcast, now he erases that, and we start from scratch on his React show. No, everything will carry over to the React show for rewards and tiers and stuff. And my goal for this week is as follows. Goal number one, by the end of this streaming week, I would like to have 675 members. Currently, we're at 649. We keep dipping. We keep gaining and then dipping and then gaining and then dipping again. All right? I want to hit 675 by the end of the week. We've got today and 3 more streaming days to hit that. I know that's feasible. In addition, I'm trying to hit the tier 1 tips goal on every stream this week. So far, we have done that. Thank you to those who have contributed and made that possible, okay? I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I do my React show, it is one of the slowest supported streams of the week usually. Now, not always. Sometimes we have a week where someone comes out and is very generous towards the React show, which is very nice. But particularly, I've noticed, so when I do the React show, contributions basically slow down to a crawl. And the reason that's concerning, the React channel, DSP React, only makes profit on stream content and memberships. That's it. I don't get any ad revenue on the videos over there because everything on my React channel gets claimed or demonetized. There's still videos from last week's React show that were demonetized, and I submitted them for review on YouTube, and they still didn't review them. So they're still demonetized a week later. That's how YouTube works. So I can't get any kind of profit on the videos on that channel. It's reliant on people contributing during the streams with super chats, memberships, and tips, and it's reliant on super chats and tips, and then memberships behind the scenes is that's what I meant to say. I confused myself. Look at that. But anyway, everything but ad revenue. There's really no ad revenue to be had on DSP Reacts, okay? So, on days when I'm doing the React content, if you could support this podcast or that stream or both, that'd be greatly appreciated. Like I said, right now, we've been doing good. The first 2 streaming days of the week, I've hit the goals for the tips, $50 every stream. That's been happening. I want to hit that today. So please consider tipping this morning or during the React show to support that content. People say to me, well, why don't you do more React content? Right now, you just do a clip show once a week. Why don't you do a long-form React show? Why don't you do more documentaries? Why don't you do that? I said, well, because it has to support it. Right now, the vast majority of income I make is from my gaming. If there was more support for the React stuff, I would consider doing more of it. I would give more time towards it and working on it. But I have to balance my time, equivalent to the level of support that I get. If I'm getting way more support on gaming stuff than React stuff, then obviously the vast majority of my time will go to the gaming and a little bit will go towards reacting. If more people supported the React streams every week, then maybe I'd make more time for more reacting. You know what I say? But that's how it works right now, okay? King B Cruel says there's a video on your community tab that's unavailable. Are you talking about the community tab of DSP Gaming? All the videos are unavailable there. You're talking about the streams? They get privatized overnight. I link the stream on there if you watch it live, and then those streams get privatized overnight, so they should all literally say this video is unavailable. Yeah. Anyway, so it's React Day. Let's do some shout-outs. Let's do some Q&A, and then we'll switch over and we'll get ready for the React show. Okay? So, let's start on the YouTube side of things. Okay? On the YouTube side of stuff this morning, we had Pikachu Hat, who did a super chat and said, Quest 64 or Secret of Evermore. Again, no, we're not going to be doing lengthy retro RPGs during the Halloween marathon. That's kind of not the point. That's kind of exactly the point that I was making. Those are the kind of games we don't want to play during the Halloween marathon. You won't get far enough in them to see significant amount of gameplay. We likely might not even go back to them ever, so that likely would not be the kind of game you want to suggest. Just saying. Okay, by the way, I know for a fact that those are good games. Okay, and the Pikachu Hat actually became a member this morning. So thank you to Pikachu Hat for joining as a member. I appreciate that. There we go. Okay. Mr. Game Master did a super chat this morning. He says, can't wait for Paper Mario Remake. Yeah, it should be great. All reports of information we're getting of it looks like it will be a superb game. And I'm excited for that. It looks like, I love the game. I played it a few years ago. And now playing it with modern graphics, redone music, better gameplay mechanics. It seems like it's going to be an awesome playthrough. Can't wait for it. Then we've got Blackout, who re-upped their membership for 3 months, says, the pod should be shorter on React days to see more videos. Well, you have to understand that it's different every week. Some weeks we actually get to more videos, some weeks we don't. It depends on how many Q&A questions get asked. It depends on the length of the videos submitted and how many we're interested in, how many we're not, and we skip. It also depends on what we have to do on those podcast days. Some days we have a lot more to talk about, and some days we don't, right? So it is different every week, admittedly. Anyway, hold on. All right, so that is what we've got on the YouTube side of stuff. We have nothing on the tip side yet. So nothing to shout out for tips. Do you see my point about React days? That really the only profit that I make on the React channel is memberships and contributions during the streams. And I've significantly noticed this year that contributions during streams for the React show have died down to almost nothing. There's been days when it's like my slowest stream all week. So that's not good. That doesn't vouch well for the React content that people asked for years and years and years, and absolutely insisted that DSP do content, React content. We want reacting. So I do reacting. And when what happens? You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. But anyway, yes, like I said, any tips this morning will count towards the React show as well. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for us to open up the chat to Q&A. We have about 20 minutes or so, maybe a little more. Let's see what people want to talk about today. Okay? Juan, I'm glad that next month is your birthday. It's a little early to be talking about it, but I'm glad that you're excited about it. Happy Halloween month to you, Derek. Hello, Willow. Jade says, on Halloween, will you watch Theme Park Crazy, Sub Mechanophobia, or Bushman Prank? I don't know what any of those are. If I did know what those were, maybe I would say yes, Jade, but I'm not sure what any... Are those games? Are those clips? I don't know what you mean. I never heard of any of them. Pikachu Hat just did a super chat. He says, I'll switch to Fallout 4. Nukes dropped on Halloween. I don't have PayPal. I can only super chat. Sorry, I still love you. Well, thank you, Pikachu Hat, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Okay. Double M, my day's alright so far. I'll be honest. The sun came out, and I don't like that. I like when the sun in the fall is behind the clouds. When the sun comes out, this office gets hot. I'm happy that I'm not playing any stressful games today, but it sucks because now what's going to happen is the temperature in here will go up like 20 degrees, and I'll probably be, a little hot under the collar, stuffy air. You know, it's cool. It's very cool outside, but man, when that sun comes out, it just eats the room up. And, within about a month, probably temperatures will dip enough that it won't matter anymore, but I'm not there yet. Like, I would love to start wearing fall clothing, like a nice button-down shirt or a long-sleeve shirt and some pants and stuff. I can't wear that right now. It's too hot in here. I actually have to wait till, like, late October, November for me to be wearing clothes that I should have been wearing 2 months ago. It sucks. Amplatory said, what was your favorite candy to get when trick-or-treating? Well, I was a chocoholic. Still am. And I'll tell you that... Oh, God, that's disturbing. I'm looking at that right now. I can't even talk because it's so disturbing. Anyway, when I was a kid, anything chocolate. So, Milky Way... Snickers, Rolos. You ever had Rolos? It's caramel with milk chocolate over it. Ooh, that's good. The Crunch bars. But not only Crunch. What was the one? It has caramel and Crispies and chocolate. It's red, the packaging. Those are really good. I can't remember what it's called. I really like that one. The one with the caramel and the Crispies and the chocolate. Okay? Is it Crackle? No, Crackle is the same as Nestle Crunch, is it not? It's just a different brand. 100 grand, is that it? Oh, yeah, I think it's 100 grand. Yo, those are real good. 100 grand is seriously good. Kit Kats, I like Kit Kats. But also anything, peanut butter cups, that's good. Reese's Pieces, that's really good. The thing I don't like was anything that was like tart or fruity. So, like, any kind of lollipops, I don't fucking want that shit. Hard candies, throw that shit right down the trash. I don't want that. Smarties. I did like Smarties when I was much younger, but as I got older, I just wanted more chocolate. So, yeah. Basically what I would do is I would trade candy with my cousin. And we would trade, and she would keep all the fruit stuff. Like, she would take the Starburst, she would take the Skittles, she would take the lollipops. You can have all that and give me all your chocolate. I want the real stuff. You can take the crap. I'll take the real stuff. That's how it worked it. Oh, my nose. Derek says, one of my videos this week is Halloween candy. If we get to it, I posted a timestamp of where to start. Sounds good. If we get to it and you're here, let me know, because I don't know if the timestamps work on here or not. I actually have no idea. Have I heard of the horror movie Talk to Me? Good reviews. I saw it on one of those demand services. I think you still got to pay for it, though. But I don't know what it is. But I saw it listed. But I haven't watched it, no. King Be Cruel says, did your family have traditions or do anything special for Halloween? My pops would take us to rich people's houses where they gave out good candies. Well, my mother would love decorating the house. So she would always put out some fake pumpkins that were like foam pumpkins with like lights inside. We would also get a real pumpkin and carve a jack-o'-lantern together. My dad and I would do that. We'd always have little decorations. The front hallway has like a big wall next to the stairwell that's visible from like the front door. So we'd put up all kinds of banners, Happy Halloween, and all kinds of stuff there. I remember that. I distinctly remember we bought Halloween sounds and we would play them in our stereo in the living room. We actually had an old school stereo that played records and tapes. Not CDs, records and tapes. And we had a tape set of Halloween music, like Monster Mash and Thriller, but also like Halloween sounds, spooky sounds, like Vincent Price laughing and oh, and that kind of stuff. And we would play it throughout the house. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. My mom was a very cool homemaker where she always liked to decorate for the seasons. So you'd have Halloween month, and then when that ended, it would be like more Thanksgiving, and then we'd have Christmas month. It was really nice. I received a tip. I received a generous $15 tip from Dan the Man, and he says, hey, Phil, thank you very much, Dan the Man. The first tip of the day. So let's go ahead and play that awesome new Halloween animation of me getting eaten by a T-Rex while I'm taking a big steamer. Look at that. I love it. I remember that scene from Jurassic Park. There you go. Very nice. Very, very good. Okay, thank you, Dan the Man, for the first tip of the day. Appreciate that. Did I make homemade steaks? Very rarely. Very rarely did we have homemade steak when I was a kid. I think as I was getting older, like my late teens, early 20s, my mom would start to make it and then we'd have it with barbecue sauce. But actually, we would almost never eat steak in the house. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. I wasn't the one who dictated the meals. Have I ever been in a haunted house? A staged one, yes. A real one, maybe. I don't know if I've been in a real haunted house. Do I like monster cereals? His favorite's Count Chocula. I had Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Boo Berry. I know there's others. Like there's like Tutti Frutti, which is supposed to be like a mummy or Fruity Mummy. And there's another one too, is there not? But I've only had the core three. Of course, Count Chocula you can get like at all times. And Count Chocula was always my favorite. Although I was a sleeper fan of Boo Berry, which is blueberry. I actually liked Boo Berry. I did not like Frankenberry. I thought Frankenberry was too sweet. I did not like it. So there you go. Did my parents have to search my candy before I would eat it? Yeah, what we would do is after we would trick-or-treat, the few times I did it, because I didn't trick-or-treat that much when I was a kid. But when I would trick-or-treat, we would go to the kitchen table. I say the kitchen table because our kitchen was also our dining room. So we'd go to our table, and we had the plastic pumpkins. You know, the ones you hold in like a bucket. It looks like a pumpkin, jack-o'-lantern. And we'd dump it on the table and scoot out the candy and, you know, make sure it's all legit. And then I would trade with my cousin. So it was a candy safety check, but also trading with my cousin. And I would say out of all the years I trick-or-treated, maybe only a couple suspect pieces of candy, and even then it wasn't like outright, oh, there's something wrong with this. But, you know, you get a piece of candy, it doesn't look right anyway. Looks like it was melted or some shit. You're like, all right, I don't want that. You throw that out anyway, regardless, right? But I never had a bad piece of candy in all those years. Have I seen the movie Cabin in the Woods? I've never seen the movie Cabin in the Woods, but I know exactly what it's about, and I've heard like a synopsis of it, but I've never seen the movie. No, I never licked chocolate wrappers. Bushman scare prank, scary person, says Jade. It's a video. Oh, I don't watch prank videos. I'll make that clear. I never found pranks very entertaining or funny. I think that if you're pranking someone, it's kind of like, here's the thing, all right? If, let's say, for example, your close friends play a prank on you, and they know that the prank isn't that big of a deal because they know you and they're razzing you, that's different. But I don't like the idea of pranks on YouTube. I just don't. Oh, someone set up a random prank and they're messing with someone. I don't like that. Because I wouldn't, in truth, in my real life, all right, here's the thing. Pranks are funny if you're someone who has like a stress-free life. Because then the added stress of a situation that's not real, but you might think it is funny. Ha ha ha, it was a joke. But if you're a stressed out person all the time, do you really want more stress that's fake? Right? Like right now, I'll be honest, I'm a stressed out guy. Especially this last week has been really stressful for me. Do you think I would want to be pranked right now? Of course not. In fact, I'd be pretty upset if someone fucking pranked me right now. I'd be like, dude, no, please. I don't need any more of this bullshit in my life right now. So I don't like watching a video where someone, you don't know who that person is. That's a stranger out there, and you don't know what they're going through in their personal life, right? And you're going to fucking prank them? And you're, oh, it's just a joke. No, it's a joke for you. Just because it's a joke for you doesn't mean it's a joke for someone else. Someone else may be going through shit. They don't need that shit. So I don't find that respectful at all. I don't think that these prank videos on YouTube are of quality. I think that they're kind of like laughing at someone's expense. You know what I mean? I don't like that. I just never have. And like I said, maybe there are some circumstances. Like, is there not a television show of guys who could do pranks, but they also constantly prank each other? But that's the premise of the show. So they know they're going to get pranked by their friends, and they're okay with it. You know, prank me, whatever, not a big deal. As opposed to, this is a fucking someone you don't know, a stranger, and we're doing pranks for YouTube today. Fuck you. No, leave me alone. I don't want to be a part of your bullshit. I just want to live my life and be left alone. I already have enough shit to deal with, you know? But it's funny because there's some people who don't understand that. There's some people who, like, they're so insulated from any kind of real life stress or problems that they just think, oh, everything's a joke in life, so we can just prank and everything's funny and everyone should just laugh at everything. No, there's people in life going through crazy shit that you don't even understand because you're so fucking insulated from anything in life that's actual stress that you shouldn't be fucking with people, you know? You should be grateful and lucky that you have the privileged life, that you don't have to deal with the shit other people have to deal with, right? That's my take anyway, you know, because I know, you know, I've been through shit. I know people who've been through shit. They don't need to be fucked with, you know? They don't deserve that just because you want to get your jollies off and make a fucking video for YouTube. So I don't like that shit. Let's see here. Shit for brains. To me, $1.25. I like Fruity Pebbles. They get soggy, but they get soggy quick. That is correct. I like Fruity and Cocoa Pebbles. I actually did. As a kid, I love them. They have good flavor. And they always change the milk a color, which is kind of neat. But you're right, they immediately turn into like mush. If you got to eat them like right away to get any kind of crispiness to them, right? Double M, I don't have trick-or-treaters here. Because Double M says, did you ever have older kids like college kids trick-or-treat you? We don't have trick-or-treaters. I live in a private community. I don't deal with any of that. Derek says, 2023 Mid-Autumn Festival's going on for him. It's different kinds of mooncake. 8 days from September 29th to October 6th to 9th is Thanksgiving in Canada. Oh, you have Thanksgiving way early, huh? Oh, I didn't know that. What are mooncakes? I don't know what that is. Clyde says, can you watch for Rogue Mod? He usually likes to react day. I'll keep my eyes peeled for Mysterious Rogue Mod. I will. It's the legend of the mysterious Halloween Rogue Mod. Out for blood. Sure. Demolition Daddy said, did Trix change the shape of the cereal? Or did we grow up and can't see the shapes anymore? What do you mean? So Trix cereal used to have fruit shapes. I know that for a fact. I remember there were fruit shapes because I remember the banana, the crunchy banana. It didn't taste like a banana. It kind of tasted like Fruit Loops almost. But I remember that they had fruit shapes. But what is Trix now? I know at one point they changed it to be like these clusters rather than fruit shapes. I know that because I remember it changing. They're just circular now? Oh, okay. I'm not surprised to hear that. They probably taste the same, though. A lot of cereals change over the years. They're like Kicks, flavored Kicks. I wouldn't mind that either. I would not mind that. Jay Dennis says, Lies of P Chapter 11 is the longest by far. You guys have been telling me that every chapter gets longer, so that's probably why. I'm 20 hours into the game, people are like, oh, it's 30 hours long. And I'm like, how is that possible? I'm at the end of Chapter 8. There's only 3 chapters left. You know, oh, because each of the final chapters is like super long. I guess that makes sense. Zombie Wolfpack says, a mooncake is a Chinese bakery product traditionally eaten during the Mid-Autumn Festival. That's great, but what is it? That doesn't answer the question. Like, what is a mooncake? What would it be comprised of? What would it taste like? Do I like banana chips? You know, I'll be honest with you. I've never really had them to the extent that I could tell you if I like them or not. I remember maybe crunching on 1 or 2 randomly and thinking, I think I liked them, but I haven't had them in ages. Puricado says, took him 36 hours. Wow. I guess I would have a lot more to go then. A mooncake is a Chinese bakery product. Has filling of a red lotus paste, white lotus paste, red bean paste, and a salted egg yolk. Wow. I have no idea what any of that tastes like. I've never tried any of that, so that would be a unique experience for me, because I never had any of those flavors before. Interesting. Let's see. Honey Bunches of Oats? I think I've had that before. Honey Bunches of Oats. Sounds familiar, but I don't think I've had it recently, so I can't really comment on it. Ever had fried pickles? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. They're kind of weird, honestly. I've only had them once. I had them at a pub-style restaurant. It was like an appetizer, fried pickle chips, and they were really weird. Like, I remember they also had, like, it was like an orange dipping sauce that was supposed to be like, I don't know if it was Chipotle or something else. I think they were good, but they were just odd. Because you don't expect a pickle to be warm and battered, you know? Would I cook my own egg rolls? Well, I don't have a deep fryer, so I guess no. Because egg rolls are supposed to be wrapped and fried. I don't have a way to fry them, so no, I would not cook my own egg rolls. When I became a teenager or younger adult, did I have Halloween traditions? No. No. When I got older, you kind of grew out of it and didn't really care about it that much. But the reason I like October is because it's autumn. The weather changes. You know, you got things that come with autumn. The changing of the leaves. You know, different kinds of activities. You know, pumpkin spice, pumpkins in general. And horror movies, you know. Like I said, I'm watching a lot of horror movies this month. Do I like Domino's pizza? No, I do not. I want to mail you chocolate. Please do not. Derek says, during Halloween, I always get rockets, small candies. Don't know what those are. Never heard of them. Rockets. Do I like to celebrate Oktoberfest? No, I do not. Absolutely not. I never celebrated Oktoberfest before. I've been to, like, a restaurant that has Oktoberfest-themed beer, but I've never actually celebrated Oktoberfest for myself. Rockets or Smarties? Oh, okay. Canadians call them Rockets. I've had Smarties then. Yeah, they're all right. I remember eating them a lot when I was a kid, but as I got older, like I said, I grew out of the tart-style candies, and instead I like chocolate. Now Clyde says, no, they're not Smarties. They're completely different. Oh, okay. Smarties are tart and sour. What are you talking about? Smarties are tart and sweet at the same time. You must be thinking about, there are things that look like Smarties, but they're not. They look exactly like Smarties, but they're just sweet. They don't have tartness to them. The name brand Smarties actually have tartness to them. My nose itches. Ugh. I received a $3 tip from Shit for Brains. Listen to this. A jackass prankster ended up getting shot in the stomach. He shoved a phone in his face. The guy asked him to stop and kept festering. The guy plays stupid games, wins stupid prizes. I just think that the whole prank culture is fucked up, honestly. I don't even understand how it's allowed. You can't be, pestering someone, invading their personal space, putting them at physical risk for the sake of you getting clickbait views on YouTube? Like, what makes you think that that's allowed in any situation? I'm not saying because someone's putting a phone in your face, you should shoot them in the stomach. I'm definitely not saying that. That's extreme. And obviously, you know, I don't know the situation. Maybe they felt like they were being physically threatened and this was self-defense. I don't know if shooting them in the stomach was the solution to that. But at the same time, why the fuck are you bothering people to begin with? Right? Like, this is not... The world is not your oyster to do it with whatever you please. It's just not. So people feel that way. Oh, I'm a YouTuber with a viewership. So that means I can go wherever I want to go. I can do whatever I want. I can get away with whatever I want under the premise that I'm a YouTuber making prank videos, bro. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, you don't get free reign. You want to know what? They only get away with that kind of shit in America or other more liberal countries. Because you go to a country where they have strict laws, you try to do that shit, you know what happens? They fucking arrest your ass. They confiscate everything you own. And they fucking throw you in jail for like 2 months. And then by the time you go home, you have nothing. And then they laugh at you. They make you a poster boy example of the people from outside our country who act like assholes because they think they're entitled. We don't owe them shit. Fuck them. Right? That's what I mean. Like, people just take for granted the freedoms that we have in these very more free countries. They don't understand that in some places in the world, they don't put up with that shit at all. You know what I'm saying? I received a $20 tip from 1 Minute Man. I'm happy that the notice actually came through today. Because if you remember, for a couple days in the last week, it wasn't coming through for some odd reason. But it did. Thank you to 1 Minute Man so much. And now it is time for, I believe, one of the most disturbing animations I've ever had on a stream. Oh my god, dude. Yo, imagine if those dolls were coming after you. Like, this gives me nightmares, and that's my face, and that gives me fucking nightmares, dude. Oh my god. Yikes. Yikes. Alright, well, thank you very much to 1 Minute Man. I appreciate that. And by the way, I have to blow my nose because I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. Oh, my nose. Ugh. Okay. Smarties in the UK and Canada contain chocolate? What? That's weird. I wouldn't think that there'd be chocolate in a Smartie. That's very odd. In Canada, the Smarties are chocolate coated like M&M's. The Rockets are like USA Smarties, hence the confusion. That's really weird. Why would you put chocolate on a Smartie? Why would you put chocolate on a candy that's supposed to be sweet and sour? That's bizarre. Yikes. Jade, that is perfectly fine. I understand. No problem. See you tonight for Liza P, though, right? Do I like Little Caesars Pizza? I've only had it once ever. It was over a decade ago for DSP Tries It. I don't particularly remember liking or disliking it. So, no, I don't like it because I don't eat it. Do I like Junior Mints? Yes. Runts? No. Atomic Fireball? No. But I love Junior Mints. Do I like Necco wafers? You know, I've had them. Those are the ones that are very sweet, correct? And they have flavors, too. Like, there's ones that are chocolate, but there's other ones that are different flavors. I would say I've had them and I liked them, but I've never particularly eaten them that much. What is the best chocolate? Why is it Toblerone? Says Ellipsian. You know, I actually don't know what the best chocolate is. I would say I always like classic Hershey's chocolate is decent. But I actually, these days when I'm older, I actually like dark chocolate more than milk chocolate. When I was younger, I used to always just eat like Hershey's. And then all of a sudden, once I had like Dove chocolate, and I was like, oh my god, why is Dove chocolate so much better? Because it's like silky smooth and creamy. I think it has a higher milk content to it. But I've also had other chocolates recently, last few years, from like international, like not in the United States, and those have cool things like hazelnut and other things in them, and dude, that's really good too. So I don't know. I actually have no idea what the best chocolate is. I've had many good chocolates over the years. Yeah. No, I've never egged a house, nor have I ever done anything on a mischief night for Halloween. For me, I never in my lifetime thought that kind of shit was funny. Even though you say, oh, it's just innocent fun. I don't think that pranking someone, I don't think that making something dirty for no good fucking reason and basically making a trouble for someone or, work for someone is funny. Like, you might argue, oh, well, someone, if you just egg their house, that's fine. You can just go outside with a hose and spray it. They still have to go do that. Why should they have to do that? Because you're an asshole? And you think it's funny to fucking throw eggs on someone's house? Like, you're a dick. Like, what the fuck is your fucking problem? Right? I never found that funny at all or entertaining, so I've never done anything like that. Jade, you have to understand something. We have not seen one of the tip animations yet. We have not seen one of the tip animations yet. We have yet to see the $100 tip animation. I can tell you guys right now that the $100 tip animation is the best animation. But we're probably not going to see it. Or if we see it, it'll be like once this month. Okay? I saved the best for last. But it's the one we will never see. We'll have to see if someone decides to be very generous this month or not. Alright? Whatchamacallit, I actually really liked, Derek. Whatchamacallit is a candy bar that has everything. So it has Crispies, peanut butter in the Crispies, a layer of caramel over the Crispies, and then that was covered in chocolate. So it was like crunchy, sweet, savory, like every flavor you can think of together. And I really like whatchamacallit. I used to eat it when I was younger. I haven't had one in many years. Killer Clowns from Outer Space or The Blob 1988. The Blob 1988 is a legit scary movie. It has gore and really scary scenes in it, where people are being melted into like gory piles of yuck. While Killer Clowns from Outer Space is just a stupid campy movie. It's not meant to be scary. It's dumb, Paydays are all right. I never was in love with Paydays. I think they're okay. They also had a candy called Who's a What's It. I've never had a Who's a What's It. Better not lay a finger on my Butterfinger. That was the 1990s ad campaign starring Bart Simpson of the Simpsons cartoon, and he was the spokesperson for Butterfinger for many years. I remember there were many different TV commercials where Bart was trying to keep his Butterfinger away from Homer, who was trying to eat it. I remember that. Do you like or hate Butterfinger? I don't know. I think Butterfinger's all right. I think that Butterfinger, like, you take a bite or two and it's good, but the more you eat it, it's way too much. Like, it's too sticky. It gets all over your teeth. It's freaking, I like Butterfinger in, like, a Blizzard from Dairy Queen, because there was just enough in the Blizzard to get the Butterfinger flavor, but also there was good ice cream, and it wasn't, like, so much candy that it got stuck in your mouth. I did like that. Liked it that way. Okay. All right, guys. I do think it is time to adjourn. We're having a good time, right? Talking about the season. This is great. I've had a great time conversing with all of you about Halloween. However, it is time to end the show. Don't worry. There'll be many more podcasts in the month of October where we can talk about this stuff, all right? And I hope that we will, because this was a fun conversation. I'd like to continue this fun conversation about candy and Halloween moving forward. So I hope we will do that on future shows. But in the meantime, we got to end it so we can get set up for DSP versus the Internet. The way it works is this show will end, and then you're going to see a pop-up on your screen if you're here live saying, hey, head over to DSP Reacts, click here, and the show continues. So do that. If you're watching on demand, thanks for watching. I hope you will check out DSP Reacts, but there will be content on this channel later today, gameplay as well. All right? I thank you all. What a great show. And for those also who supported, thank you so very much. Happy Spooktober, everybody. Indeed. And I hope that you have a good one. I hope that you're starting your own festivities at home. I hope you'll join me all month long for new games and autumn vibes. And of course, one final thing, happy Halloween.